Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you back to another podcast brought to you by the Fantasy League of Ordinary Gentlemen, FLOOG. I bring you once again the Flug. What is up, guys? How are we doing tonight?
Good, man.
Yeah, that's
Great.
good.
NFL draft is finished, and now it's great to try a little rookie draft for us tonight.
Yeah, this is our first pod since the NFL draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes, if I can collect my memories, yes. The draft was fun. We just did a Zoom hangout, but non-pod really. It was smooth. Remember, it was just kind of rolling, and then it got to Washington's pick at 11, and then there's the first trade.
Of course.
And that was the first crack in the ice, and it went everywhere. It got wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all hell broke loose. Basically, you had plenty of trades. I think 6 wide receivers went within the first 20 picks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the AJ Brown trade was one of the big ones for Philly to pick up from Tennessee. And then you had basically the same, I think, 15 minutes beforehand, that AJ Brown trade was Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
Going to the Cardinals from the Ravens. Which is,
out of nowhere.
Yeah. It made it pretty intense. And it's interesting to see a draft where you don't see a slew of QBs go within the first 2 to 3 picks, So definitely different. QB fell to pick 20?
Mm-hmm.
20.
20 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, yeah, it's interesting.
And then what? Malik Willis, pick, what was it, 80?
80 something. Yeah, 80 something. Third round.
3. Yeah.
Third round.
I gotta give Brad, who's sometimes on our podcast, I gotta give him credit. He said none were gonna go in the first round, but then I think we all thought maybe Willis would go first round, Pickett, and I didn't think Willis would slip down. Don't get me wrong, I still think he needs a lot of development, but there's a lot of physical traits there. But he fell. Freaking Matt Corral fell to third round.
Mm-hmm.
No, Desmond Ridder. I forgot he went before Willis.
Yeah,
he went to Atlanta 74.
Yeah,
but I forgot about that. But Sam Howell drafted the 5th round. I think Bailey Zapp got drafted before Sam Howell, and Sam Howell was supposed to be among the top 5. So it was a weird year, and then the linebacker from the Eagles, Nakobe Dean, who I'm happy for Gary and the Eagles fans because he slipped all the way to 83, and so there was a lot of people that fell. And then there was a couple players that got drafted a lot higher than I thought.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Ty. They had Nakobe Dean. Especially in our mock and in a lot of mocks on a lot of podcasts, they had Dean going in the teens. It was almost between him and Devin Lloyd. Philadelphia was taking one,
Yeah,
but
and I told Gary because Gary and I talked, private text. He's not a guy. I know Gary. He's worried about the shoulder injury and every right to, but they got a couple guys right now, T.J. Edwards and Kaiser White, that could just fill the gaps right now. And they both signed 1-year deals, and they both get to the ball. They both had 140 tackles or more, so they're just stopgappers. So you don't really need Dean to produce right away, but obviously you'd like to see him produce within the 3rd year. If he can't, then obviously he's a no-go. But
yeah, all in all, that pass rush is going to be fucking ridiculous.
Jordan Davis, that's a very, very big human being, 340 pounds, and runs a 4.8.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, 4.78, 4.7.
Yeah. Guys, before we go any farther, let's tell everybody who's here tonight. In the Zoom, you can find him on Twitter at Gars_Poetica. Always working on the Flug website, www.theflug.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Drakowski. What's up, man?
What's up? But happy to be here. I know we were talking quite a bit beforehand, but I will switch it on to the man, the Bills Mafia, 757, the social media ghost. What is the other one? Or did I already get it? I already got it.
You already got it. Yeah,
Boom. Mr. Tyson Cullen.
What's up? Like Gary said, happy to be here. NFL schedule came out tonight / all week with these little teasers. I don't know about you, but when I heard the first one, I was kind of like, all right, let's just get it. Let's just come on. Like, like when Monday came around, I was like, all right, come on, man. Let's why are we waiting? Like, let's do it now. You guys I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good. They obviously got a reaction out of me. Like, come on, let's go. But once the first one hit, and then of course the Bills one hit, I'm like, oh God, now I really need to know. Come on now. Like, I really need to know now. So yeah, so now we finally get the schedule out, and so times are rolling, and then rookie mini camp starting up. I know the Bills is starting up this weekend. I think Washington started last week because that was pretty cool. Jahan Dotson, who got first round draft choice, graduated from Penn State. I think he wanted to miss his graduation, and Ron Rivera said, no, you don't. Not many people graduate from college. You need to go to your leadership. So that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool leadership. But, yeah, I'm getting off topic, but yeah. So a lot of things are going on in football right now, and I can't wait. I can't wait till the season actually starts.
Football never stops, man. Off season, it just continuously rolls. The excitement is all the way through the whole year.
So. Yeah, especially dynasty leagues, and that's what we're gonna do tonight. We are going to do our 1 QB. We're gonna go 2 rounds. We're gonna do a rookie mock draft. Super excited for this. I haven't done any rookie drafts yet, Ty, Gary. I don't know if you guys have yet. So very excited for that. So we did 1 QB, maybe super flex in the near future. Who knows? Super stoked. Before we get this going, guys, like we said, you can find us on our website, www.theflug.com. Check us out on Twitter at @theflug_FF. You can follow me on Twitter at jhicks804. And you can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. Just click like, love, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So,
there is no like, it's all love.
There's all love. And I will be representing us. Hopefully more of us will be, but Scott Fishbowl, let's go, baby.
That's what's up, dude. You kill it, man. Every year you're in. So
yeah.
Cheers. Hopefully I can try and get in. That'd be fun. I think maybe I would have to sign up again. So
keep doing it. Just keep signing up. So I don't know much yet. They are doing some live drafts. Like they've announced 4 or 5 locations this year. So I doubt it'd be cool if Richmond was one, but I feel like hopefully DC would be one, and I would if I could nominate myself to go.
They should, and we would do Flug events like everybody who was in ours.
That would be so sick. So very excited for Scott Fishbowl. Not much is out yet. I think playoffs start super early. I think it's like week 11 or something crazy. Because I think there's so many teams, and it's like it's like cut down and cut down and cut down and cut down.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine for that. Yeah, thousands of people in there.
And yeah, so, but I don't think there's that much more out yet, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I know. I'm sorry. So, but there's so many teams, and I'm super stoked to be in. Super privileged, not privileged, but thankful to Scott Fish to let me in. But it's a crapshoot. Let's be honest. But all right, are you guys ready to do some drafting?
Yeah.
Always. All right, guys, let's rock. So we did a random order generator, and it's Gary, then Ty, then me. So nice. Gary, whenever you are ready, young man, you are on the clock.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Ding dong.
Well, we already know who the number 1 ranked rookie is this season, and it's going to be Bryce Hall. So I'm going to put him as number 1, the running back out of New York for the Jets. So we know that what is it? Michael Carter is already there. I don't think he's kind of like the Tevin Coleman and who was it back in the day with Tevin Coleman with Atlanta?
Devontae Freeman.
Yes, thank you. So I think it could be kind of like that, where you could probably see 60% Brees Hall, maybe about 40% Michael Carter, or it could be, 65-35 or something like that. But I think they'll both be able to spell each other pretty well. And this offense, with the amount of firepower they now have after this draft, I think they can be an interesting team to play against. So it might, to me, couple pegs above what they were before the draft.
I'm with you. I haven't. I mean, all the pods that I listen to, I haven't heard anybody else swerve away from Brees, and I don't really see the need. So that, I mean, this offense is definitely. I mean, there's another guy that obviously is going to be named soon.
Yeah.
So this offense is definitely getting some names to it.
That's why I'm glad to have the number one, so you guys can scratch your heads of what you want to do from here on out.
So, all right, Ty, you want to rock and roll with the number 2 pick?
Yeah. I'll go with a safe pick. I'll go with Drake London. Just for the simple fact that maybe you guys can argue, but I think he'll easily be the number 1 wide receiver. Hell, I think he's the number 1 wide receiver now. When you got a guy like who's the leading returning receiver was Zacchaeus, and he had like 400 yards receiving.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much. There's not much to this wide receiver crew, and it hurts that Gary's boy Calvin Ridley is suspended for a year, because otherwise you could have a Calvin Ridley, you could have a Drake London going with Kyle Pitts. I mean, that's a scary trio. But I mean, the Twin Towers, they're still gonna have the Twin Towers with Drake London and Kyle Pitts, 6'4" and 6'5". So again, I'm basing it off the fact that maybe other than like Traylon Burks might be the number 1, for a fact, or at least I know for a fact, Drake London's going to be the number 1, at least pure wide receiver. He'll be the number 2 option behind Kyle Pitts, obviously. I mean, that's a given. So yeah.
Right. So okay. So with Atlanta, we already know kind of a glimpse of Marcus Mariota. So if you guys were to be drafting Drake London right now, say we all drafted Drake London, who do you want as QB, Mariota or Desmond Ridder? Like, would you take a chance on the rookie, thinking he's going to, literally just make sure he targets the hell out of Drake London? Or you're going to have Mariota, who I don't know who his number 1s usually were, because he always ran a lot when he was in trouble inside the pocket. So, I mean, Ridder, they're kind of almost similar in ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see Ridder. Like, if I'm drafting Drake London.
I would.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I would love to see Ridder. I'm with you, but I think they're going to go Mariota. But I'm with you. I would love to see Ridder.
Yeah, because I think too, Atlanta, they still have their first for next season, correct? I don't think they traded that away. I just want to make it clear, because next season, when we see that slew of QBs are actually fairly elite, there's a good chance, why not just start Desmond Ridder, see what you got this season, and then basically if he's no-go, you can get a QB right there and there. So that's kind of my thoughts for that team right now.
So almost like a Josh Rosen situation.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We know how that went.
I like where you're going with it. I mean, unless Mariota really wows anybody, there's nowhere to, let him play. Could it be a Russell situation from over a decade ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some people had Ridder as their number 1. People said he was the most NFL ready quarterback.
Me personally, I had him as number 2 behind Pickett, but yeah, I could see where they had him above Powell. I could see where they had him above Willis and who's the other guy that's slipping my mind.
How?
Hal and Willis. I can't. I don't forget the other guy. But yeah, I could see where they had him above those guys.
I got you.
Corral. Matt Corral.
Yeah.
Matt Corral.
So I'm with you. All right. So that puts me up at number 3. And I think it's a lot of consensus says to go Kenneth Walker. But that team is like, I feel like you have to look a little like long game. And just Seattle, Pete Carroll could retire any day, in my opinion. Could he back out for the season start? Possibly. Who knows? I mean, it's crazy. I was really worried about their O-line because they didn't have their two starting tackles from last year. They got 2 new tackles, which is great. I mean, revamped the O-line. All good for them. But just long game, I think wide receiver. And there's a whole patch of wide receivers right here that, like, I don't dislike any of them. I mean, I really do. I mean, I like them all. I have no negatives against, So, and I'm just going to target share. I would do Jamison Williams, but Chark's there. You got Amon-Ra's there. So, I mean, that's a 3-headed monster. And you got to think about Hawkinson. So, for now, I'm going to go Treylon Burks for now. I just really think A.J. Brown leaving frees up a bunch of targets. Yeah, you got Bob Woods there. But I just think, I mean, he's going to be the alpha. This guy was in the SEC. I mean, SEC is obviously, the best college division. He was on Arkansas. Like, when's the last person you've heard come out of Arkansas that was, fantasy relevant?
Right.
If he's hanging with LSU and the Alabamas, and he's this high ranked of a wide receiver, and I have no idea who his quarterback is. Should I know? Yes, but he's probably not that. I mean, is he in the SEC? Yes. So he's worth something. But if he's doing what he did in the SEC on a not good SEC team, then I mean, this guy's talented.
Well, I think they kind of like referred him as like an AJ Brown light. I think that's why they kind of made the trade, because they weren't going to be able to pay AJ Brown, which is definitely a big factor going into the draft, knowing that they wouldn't be able to. So I thought it was interesting. Yeah, I like the pick, Josh. I mean, you're going for somebody who's going to be a target hog right off the bat, and why not do that at the number 3 pick? I'm not mad at it.
No, not at all.
Gary, I just realized Eagles and Lions are week 1 NFL.
Oh, yeah. I was going to text something earlier in the group, but I remember Shane.
Shane's phone's broke.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I sidetracked. Gary, you're up.
I'll just say one more. I'll just say one thing. It seems like, I don't know, something gets me that Treylon Burks is still like learning the position. I don't really have any like credible sources or like, something to back it up. But it just seems like to me, from what I've read or watched, it seems like he's still learning the position. So there's still a lot of raw talent to him that's untapped. You know how sometimes you'll see a receiver and you see, all right, well, he's going to produce right away because he's been there. I feel like there's still a lot of raw potential, and he still hasn't. He's still learning the position of wide receiver. I don't know. There's something about him. And plus, they'll use him like you said, he's like an AJ Brown type. But I was also hearing a lot of Deebo Samuel.
Yeah,
because he's built like 6'3", 225, I think he was. So, but yeah, that's all.
I'll take either or.
Yeah. Okay, this is a tough pick because I'm going throughout like people who are usually at this bottom, this far down, usually are a shitty team. So I'm thinking either they're not really good at running back, or I like Josh's case with Kenneth Walker. I mean, that's a big reason why he just pushed off of him. Garrett Wilson I like, but he does have Elijah Moore there. Who else? Corey Davis is there as well. So, I mean, it's kind of like a big – you got the 2 tight ends who just recently went there, and CJ Uzama. and you basically had Tyler Conklin who went there too. So I mean, there's a lot to feed. I mean, you still have Brees Hall takes away targets. You have Michael Carter can take away targets. There's a lot to feed up in there. Yep. I mean, Garrett Wilson can be a number one, but this team has to be old school when it was Fitzpatrick and what
Brandon
Marshall and what's his name too?
Decker.
Weckler. So I'm gonna push down one more because Jameis was badass one time in Tampa Bay with the most fantasy points. I'm gonna go Chris Olave.
Oh, I like it.
And I mean, I have Garrett Wilson and Kenneth Walker ranked above him, but I'm going through need right now for those who are usually at this landscape. I'm going to go Chris Olave.
I was going to go next. I was going to take that next guy.
I think us talking right now throughout all of this is changing my rankings in general.
You know us. I like it, Gars. I mean, I think
I do too.
And think if Michael Thomas doesn't come back.
Sure.
Yes.
It could be like a Brandon Cooks in a way.
Because when was the last time he actually played a full season? Was it 2019? Was it 2018?
Yeah, it might have been 2019. I could check.
I mean, yeah. When was the last time Michael Thomas was actually Michael Thomas?
Yeah.
Because I'm at a point where 2020. Okay.
I mean,
I'm at a point.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I'm at a point where I'm kind of like, all right, Michael Thomas is on his last leg, if not half leg, and that Chris Olave he's the guy. He will be the guy.
You're right, Ty. It was week 16, or I'm sorry, week 2019. And that's when he had that monster year. And I think it was the number one over fantasy. So he was the number one overall position, wide receiver position. Yep.
So 2 years? Yeah. I mean.
Mm-hmm. And he's age 29. I mean, a lot of issues with the team he's been having. And also, his health is definitely a big factor at this age, especially at that age. Getting ready to hit 30.
Yeah. All right. So Gary goes Chris Olave. Ty, you're up with the number 5 pick.
Man, I was hoping Gary would go Kenneth Walker or something. I was really wanting to pick Chris Olave. Man.
Get used to Lucha. Now that you be drafting with us. Be sniping all around, boy.
Yeah, you got me on that one. Damn, dude. All right. This is gonna be a risk on this one. I'm gonna go Jahan Dotson.
Wow. All right.
Because everybody kept talking about, well, they need a quarterback. No, they need another receiver other than Terry McLaurin. And when I look at this team, there's nobody else that can be the number 2, in my opinion. And then the guys I got ahead of Dotson, Christian Watson, as much as everybody is impressed with him, the length, 6'5", 210, I think he was a great kick returner and punt returner. I'm a big production guy, and he only had 800 yards in Division I AA football. Sky Moore, I know Josh didn't like Sky Moore, but I was a big fan of Sky Moore. But, I mean, he's still going to have to contend with Juju and MVS. And they even got Justin Ross, who might be a sleeper. Then there's Kelsey. And then you got and then all the points you made about Jamison Williams and Garrett Wilson. So out of the next guy, Dotson is the guy for me that's going to probably get a lot of targets if he is who he is, because all the other receivers suck other than Terry McLaurin. So.
All right. There you have it.
All right. So that puts me up. So based off my rankings, my number 4 guy and my number 5 guy are still here, which I didn't think. I mean, obviously, weren't going to make it here. I'm going. I am going Jamison Williams. I didn't. Yeah, he's again another long game. Like I said, that he has 2 guys to contend with, but I mean, if he didn't get hurt, he could have gone before London, possibly.
They're saying he could probably be for training camp.
Yeah, and I mean, and Chark's contract is 1 year, so if Williams, knocks it out the park, it'd be him and Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra's on his rookie deal still, so you can't at this point at 106. Yeah, sign me up. Let's go. Gary, you're up on the clock.
I mean, I'm pretty much going right up onto the podium, and I'm going to just running back or let's just go right for Garrett Wilson because of the capital where he was drafted. Was it number 8 overall?
No, that London went 8. Garrett Wilson went 10.
10. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. So Garrett Wilson. I mean, obviously, we just talked about him earlier, but like just the attributes it's all depends on whether Zach Wilson can stretch the field with Garrett Wilson. If he can get that connection, he can throw the deep ball and be as accurate as he can. Hopefully, they got a little bit more of a clean pocket with the way this offensive line is starting to feel out. So it's good. It's a good spot right there for him.
I like it. So, Ty, that puts you up 108.
All right. So everything I said about Christian Watson, I'm not going to take back, but because I got Walker Moore and Christian Watson, and then you got like Pickens and David Bell, Christian Watson out of all those guys will get the most targets, I think. So I will go Christian Watson now because just based on that he'll get more targets and more. I think he'll get more than Pickens, David Bell, John Mechie. So I'll go Christian Watson now.
I love the pick. I love it. I have him in my rankings. I have him ranked 6 overall, so I'm kind of bullish on him. Yeah, but I'm with you, like the targets.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Devontae Adams, dude, and they haven't done anything else at wide receiver.
No.
So I really like the pick right here, Ty.
So where are you guys hearing Jarvis Landry's going? Like I heard Ravens. Like it just seems like Green Bay is just not really going to pick up any kind of like veteran free agents. They just put a little spot on Julio. I'm sure he's not going to play, but maybe half the season, if that.
You got Julio. You still got Fuller,
right?
You got Odell still, right?
But I mean, I think I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I heard something where there were games where Devontae Adams didn't play, but the team in general was still on fire. Like, I mean, Aaron Rodgers was still able to get it done. But right now, you have Christian Watson and then
Alan
Lazard, Sammy Watkins. I mean, it's just I don't know if it is gross. So, I mean, it's just I don't know, man. They made really good picks with their 2 first rounders, those 2 late ones in the defense, obviously. Mm-hmm. But who knows? Maybe we're going to go to a running attack, like a heavy one. But they just need somebody who's not going to be wide receiver 3s on most teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's mind-boggling. So I don't know. I mean, I like the pick obviously because I mean, huge target opportunity for Christian Watson for sure. So I'm huge on that.
I think they got a sleeper pick. Nobody knows is Romeo Dubes from Nevada.
Yeah.
I don't know. If he doesn't do nothing, it's not going to be a surprise. But if he does, to me, I thought he was highly productive at Nevada. And I know it's Nevada, but they do throw the football. I mean, there's a little bit of substance to him. So he's a guy that I could see make the team and be maybe a 4 or 5 on the team, which is good for him as far as I forget what round he went, but he's a guy to look out for on this team. Sammy Watkins. Ew, gross.
Ew. Been there, done that. I'm with you, brother. All right, that puts me up at the 9. I am going to stop the slide here. I am going to go Kenneth Walker, the running back for Seattle. And now at 9 here. I mean, this is easy money. Give it to me. I mean, Chris Carson, he's not on the team right now. What's his name? Penny. Everybody. He's had 4 or 5 good games in 3 seasons. So, and again, it's Pete Carroll. They're the run first team. Yada yada yada, and they're definitely going to have to run it now because Drew Lock is your quarterback. So, easy. Yeah, sign me up. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
That puts Gary, the 110.
Yep. So, I'm definitely going to go with the next wide receiver that we know is going to have a decent amount of targets right up off the bat. Ever since Tyreek Hill has been traded, I think Sky Moore can be the guy to where, maybe a little bit under 1,000 yards, but I think he's going to be at least somebody who can get around close to 80 targets this season. Even with Juju there, we know Juju has a small case of like the zips and whatnot. As fantasy owners probably know. I, for one, know because I could have been in the playoffs one season and he got negative points. All I needed to do was get 2 points. I'm just not a happy Juju guy. But
10 million for 1 year.
Yeah. But Travis Kelsey is obviously still going to be the number 1 target, I believe. You got Marcus Valdes-Scantling, who's a good deep threat. He too can be like wishy-washy. He's not a true number 1 or a true alpha. So maybe Sky Moore is going to be interesting. They got him pretty early in the second round, right? So I think there's a good opportunity for him.
And I'll say this may not mean much, but I think I told you this, Hicks, that he mentioned Kansas City as one of the 3 offenses that he wanted to go to. Now, of course, you got Patrick Mahomes, but but Kansas City was one of the 3 offenses that he mentioned who he thought he could excel. So I think it's a great pick for Casey. I really do. I really like him. I know he went to Western Michigan, but dude can play and he's fast. So I like the pick there.
Yeah, I like that, Gary. Good pick. All right, Ty. 111. I see the grin on your face. I feel like I have an idea where you're going. Let everybody know.
I don't think you know for a fact. All right, yeah, you're right. I'm not letting him go. I'm going James Cook.
Attaboy.
Bam. I cannot. I've drafted 3 wide receivers. We're going into the second round. I got to get me a running back. There's no way in hell I'm going Rashad White for freaking even though he's come out and said, "Oh, I'm here to start." Okay, you ain't starting. All right, and I won't curse on here, but you ain't starting, dude, over Leonard Fournette. So yeah, James Cook with Devin Singletary.
I'm in on it, Ty. They're a pass first team. That's obvious if you watch football. And they really haven't had. I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but they haven't really had like the receiving running back kind of option. So this just leads to so many opportunities.
I love it. And he wanted to play with Josh Allen. I love it. I let out a big woo, and I'm sure my neighbors heard me. I was stoked when I
Fuck yeah, Ric Flair that shit, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Power bomb through tables. Like so yeah, I mean just James Cook. We do know they tried to go for JD McKissick at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But as crazy as it is, he ended up signing for the Skins at the same price.
Who I would have liked. I would have liked it, but yeah, I mean, I'm not too mad about it. It seemed like the Bills general manager was mad about it because I guess there was a deal and the agent told Washington like, "Hey, we're done," and then Washington kept persisting. I think it was all a scheme, but whatever. I mean, he's probably going to get he's probably going to get more looks or more targets in Washington. So it works out for him. So, and it sounded like he was comfortable in their offense. So, it is what it is. They got a guy that's 29 and Buffalo's got a kid that's 22. So it works out both ways.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, I'm sorry, just like, I kind of still, God damn it, Zach Moss. I kind of still like him. They're not a run first team. Like Zach Moss would be good with the Ravens. Like he would be good with like anybody who doesn't have that long speed, but he's kind of like a Josh Jacobs in a way. Like maybe a down version of him in a way, but he's almost kind of like how Josh Jacobs is. Good at the short, the goal line, short distance, stuff like that. But you're right. I mean, they're always, most of the part, they're always in shotgun for the most part, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I was going to say a shorter version of like an AJ Dillon because they came out the same draft. Reminds me a little bit of AJ Dillon, only about 5 inches shorter and about, I don't know, 40 pounds lighter. But no, you're absolutely right. Baltimore Ravens would be a great team for them. Or the 49ers. Well, no, they're more like zone block. That was a bad one.
Digress. All right. This puts me up at the end of the first round, the pick 112. And I got to go off talent. I wanted this guy to go to the Chiefs. You guys know from watching the draft with me on the Zoom. George Pickens. I know that the landing spot isn't the best right now, but the talent. I mean, he got, again, another guy that got hurt. I think he would have gone a lot sooner in our draft tonight in the NFL, yada, yada, yada. I think he's a beast. I was really big on him before the draft. The landing spot was kind of a kickback, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But, you go for talent. So, George Pickens here, guys.
I like it. Like, I mean, I'm a big believer that he can. I don't know if they're going to end up re-signing any of the two wide receivers right now because how the Steelers draft, they know what they can get or see. They have a good scope and the good intellect on like wide receivers in that position. So any of them can thrive who they pick.
Well, Michael, so Garrett, I know you're a big Deontay Johnson fan, which I became a Deontay Johnson fan later. Can he play in the slot too?
Yeah, he can.
So
Deontay?
So they could line up him in the slot and have Pickens and Chase Claypool on the outside.
Yeah. It's just Deontay Johnson, massive target hog. But the only problem is he doesn't catch but half of them. So that's the one thing about him. He's got to pick that up because other than that, route running is good. I mean, his speed is fairly decent, but he's quick, But I like Deontay Johnson. He's always able to get targets. Definitely blew Juju out the water, which pretty much told them, we're not going to re-sign Juju. Big fan of him. And I just Claypool. We know Claypool had that one stretch, I think it was about 2 years ago in his rookie season, where he was the guy, But just the George Pickens, I think, is a great pick. It's a good longevity pick. And it's something that he might not have like maybe about 600 to 700 yards this season, but I think he's going to be a good asset and immediately the third wide receiver on that team.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to know with Trubisky. I mean, I don't see Trubisky going for 5,000 yards, let's be honest. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. Once it became a Bill, of course I became a fan, but nobody's going to confuse him for throwing for 5,000 yards. So,
yeah. You're right. All right, Garsh. You start off this second round for us.
All right. So do you want to do it this way or do you want to turn it around? No?
All you.
Okay. I am going to say right off the bat, I am not a big Rachaad White guy. And I would say this could be ugly to some of y'all. But I am going to go a little further down and pick Damien Pierce.
I love
I
it.
like it.
Running
I
back
like
in
it.
Houston.
I like it.
Opportunities there. I think he's a pretty good running back. I mean, he can definitely push some of the other guys down the depth chart. So, and he could end up being the number one guy at some point. So to start out the second round, I kind of like that.
It's him versus Marlon Mack versus Rex Burkhead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Philip Lindsay is gone, I think. That was only a 1-year deal.
Yeah, and they still have, I think of his name. I always screw up on name, of course. But go ahead. You can go next.
No, I'm in on this pick.
Royce Freeman.
Royce to 5'9".
Yeah.
I'm in on the pick. So that puts Ty, you back up?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, like Gary, I'm not a Rachaad White fan at all. And I like Isaiah Spiller, but I mean, there's Austin Eckler there. I'm gonna go a fellow Texan. I'm gonna go John Mechie. Because again, like Gar said, there's just other than Brandon Cooks, there's just I mean, I like Nico Collins, but is he gonna take that next step? I don't know. I have him now in Lucha. Now that I drafted him for Joe. So I want him to do good, but I don't know if he will take that next step. And I do like John Mechie, even though the injuries are a problem, he can still play. I know he got outperformed by Jamison Williams, but it's not. He had a good season last year. He had a good season the year before. There's opportunity, and Davis Mills for all the hype that he didn't get compared to the other rookie quarterbacks. In my opinion, he was the second best rookie quarterback in that draft last year.
Yeah,
behind Mac Jones. And I'm a Bills fan, but I'll admit that Mac Jones was the best rookie quarterback in the draft. Davis Mills was second. I seen him play against Buffalo, and he looked terrible, 4 INTs. But then if you look at the rest of the way, he threw 16 touchdowns and 6 INTs. If you take away that Bills game, 16 touchdowns, 6 INTs, that's not a bad rookie year. So,
especially in a rebuilding team after all the nonsense throughout that team within the past year and a half, 2 years. Like it's just, I think it's a good pick. I think John Mechie, you can't go wrong with any kind of Alabama wide receiver whatsoever. So cheers to if he could be anything close, or within the somewhat same wavelength as DeAndre Hopkins, which is far-fetched. But I like the pick. And although it's in a, bottom feeding team, you'll know that they're going to be passing at some points. So I like it.
And there's no pressure on him. It's not, again, he doesn't have to be the number one. Right now, that's Brandon Cooks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So that puts me up. I'm at the 203. I'm going to break the ice. I'm going to take Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
I think it's just time because
I should have.
If you're a team that needs a quarterback, he's the only one that you can take, right?
Mm-hmm.
As of right now.
Yes.
So, and we just talked about it with the Pickens pick.
Nice.
He has a bunch of options there. He really does. Wide receivers and Freiermuth. And Najee Harris is, just dump it off to him.
He's a dog.
The O-line is still a question mark in Pittsburgh, but I think there's enough weapons there that he can make it.
I think it's another scenario too. Like if he doesn't beat out Mitchell Trubisky, there's a good chance you don't know if you got the guy. Like, I mean, Mitchell Trubisky isn't the greatest, and I think Pickett's much more he's a more accurate QB than he is. Maybe he might not be able to throw it like down the field as much, but Pickett I think is good. Like this is like another scenario when we were talking about I think Desmond Ridder. Just start him. So if it doesn't work out, at least you can pick somebody up next year at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and two, he's from Pitt. I mean, it's like the Steelers already have an idea of how he is in the locker room and everything. So,
and the last pick guy they drafted, that was James Conner, and you know he made good for a while.
I know that's right.
It ended a little dumpy, but here we are.
He's the guy now.
Yeah, he's the guy now for sure. Just not in Pittsburgh. Gars, are you ready to make your 204 pick?
I sure am. So I did see that Jarvis Landry is not going to be a Brown. So I think that is on the wayside for that team. I don't know if Odell Beckham is still in consideration for him to come back. But I think with just Amari Cooper, Anthony Schwartz, Donovan Peoples-Jones, you got Jakeem Grant too. So I think there's a good chance that David Bell can get at least a little bit of notoriety on this team in his first rookie season. So I think this could be I think this is a good pick right here at David Bell.
I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Everybody knocked him for the 40, but if you saw his tape on Purdue, he got open. And he was productive all 3 years. All 3 years. His freshman year, he had Rondale Moore. And he outperformed Rondale Moore. So, I'm sorry, sophomore year too. He had he outperformed Rondale Moore both years. So,
and I think this is almost like a Treylon Burks thing. This is another guy on a not good SEC team that is putting up, really good numbers. Vanderbilt is probably the worst team in the SEC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm in on this pick. That puts Ty up at 205.
All right, I'm gonna break the ice on another position we haven't gone. And I'm gonna go Trey McBride.
Oh,
all right, nice.
I know they have Zach Ertz, but man, this kid's a stud. And there's not even a question he was the best tight end. He was highly productive, 1,100 yards in 12 games for a tight end. I mean, that's fucking Kelsey numbers. That's fucking Hawkinson, Kittle, Waller numbers. I mean, again, it goes back to what you just said about Arkansas and Purdue. He was playing for Colorado State. I mean, really? They've never really been known for football. So, yeah, I mean, Ertz is getting older. He's still producing a little bit, but I really like this kid.
I mean, you can have any time and any moment that Ertz could start to break down because he was early last season. So I think that's a good pick, Ty.
So I am up now at the 206. You guys are down on him, but I think right here in the middle of the second round, I think the value's here. I'm going to go ahead and take Rachaad White.
Yeah, I like it at this point.
Just with
I agree.
With Ronald Jones is gone. And not that he did much on Tampa Bay, but if Lenny goes down, I mean, I guess he would be the guy. And I know I think Gio's still there. And who's the other guy they drafted there? Everybody was big on.
Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yeah, Keyshawn Vaughn. Thank you, Ty. So, but he doesn't really pan out. So let's go here with Rachaad White, running back, and that puts Gars up.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity to take Isaiah Stiller. So, especially I know Ty was saying too. I mean, he's going to be slotted in right away at the number 2. We did see Larry Roundtree hasn't been anything. We've seen, I know I can remember his name.
Josh Kelly.
Yes, those two have not panned out whatsoever. Yep. So I think this is a good spot. I mean, there can be times where he can spell. What is his name? I'm not good at names and influence. Who's the lead back? Austin Eckler. Yeah.
All right. Then put Spiller up. So then Ty, you're up at 208.
All right, so I got two more picks left, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna stretch for these two. These are gonna be really off the wall.
Get your
Uh,
guy.
I haven't gotten a quarterback yet, so I have to go Desmond Ritter.
Ooh.
So,
Interessante.
yeah, I haven't picked a quarterback, and I have a running back. I have a running back that I don't think y'all will get with the next pick. But yeah, I got to get a quarterback. And like I said, I thought he was the number two ready quarterback behind Pickett. Again, I'm basing off of like game experience. I look at quarterbacks' game experience. He threw 1,300 passes, and it felt like he got better every year of the way. So, and again, it's basically what we've been talking about Mariota. Do we want Mariota and do we want Ritter? I want to see what Ritter can do. I've already seen what Mariota can do. He's a great backup. He's a great veteran, but I want to see what Ritter can do.
So Ty, I mean, is the main reason why you like Ritter over Willis is because the immediate impact that he's going to be starting, would you say?
I like the immediate impact, and I just think that Ritter right now has more game experience than Willis. Willis has only played 2 years, and I can't remember if it was last year or this year. He threw 14 INTs.
Yeah,
and Ritter's touchdown to INTs was like 31-8 or 30-8, and Ritter played all 4 years. Willis went to Auburn, didn't play that much, then transferred to Liberty. And I think he threw maybe 5 or 6 interceptions his first year, but then they jumped up to 14. So, and he's only thrown 600 passes compared to 1,300. I don't know. I'm a big game experience when it comes to quarterbacks, and right now Ritter has been, like I said, he was a 4-year starter. Willis played 2 years, just like Matt Corral, 2.5 years. I thought Matt Corral.
I was going to say, no, that's a great point. I mean, look at Trey Lance. Like, they don't even know if they want him to start yet. I mean, that's somebody who hasn't really played, but what, 1 season? So
Exactly.
That's a great point.
Division I AA. In the case of Trey Lance, I'm not trying to knock what he did, 28 touchdowns and no INTs, and that's impressive. But it was only 1 year. It was kind of like Trubisky. Trubisky had 1 year. Mark Sanchez, the butt fumble, he had 1 year at USC. So, I mean, how I value it doesn't always work. I know that, but if it's me, I want a guy that's played some college football and not sat on the bench for 3-4 years, and then all of a sudden his 5th year, hey, I'm the man. Now again, that Mac Jones was that kind of. He only started for 1 year, and again, I'm wrong about that. Mac Jones played pretty well last year, so yeah. So I'm basing off that of when he's going to start and how much game time he's got. Long story.
Totally agree. I like it.
Okay, so that puts me up at the 209. This guy, I'm going off volume here, and I think he could, not 100 targets, but 60, 80 ceiling. I'm going to go Alec Pierce, the Colts.
I like it.
And with Matt Ryan, it's a uptick from Wentz, in my opinion. A better offensive line for Matt Ryan. I always feel like he's always been the O line in Atlanta's always been par at best, And they got Quentin Nelson. That's a great offensive line in Indy. If not, top 5, right?
Yeah,
and then we get to splitting hairs. But
Quentin Nelson actually didn't have that great of a year last year. Like, there was other guys on the line that outperformed him, but they kind of remind me of Washington. Washington has McLaurin, Colts have Michael Pittman, and then you look at the other receivers and you're like, who? I know they have T.Y. Hilton, but Hicks, you and I both agree that we've never really been big fans of T.Y. Hilton. Exactly. Yeah. He had a thumbs down, but yeah, T.Y. Hilton is way past his prime. So they're kind of built the same. Only Antonio Gibson's no Jonathan Taylor, but you get my drift. Their receivers are built the same. One superstar or one star, and then everybody is shit. So
Yep.
I do want to point out that the Colts are still not giving up. This is going to be funny to say. They're still not giving up on Paris Campbell. I think he could be a deep sleeper, but like I feel like I've done this for the past year or two, just being like, he's still got it. He's still got it.
You and Dan.
But like it's one of those where it's not like you think he's gonna do it. You want him to. It's like, dude, just come back. Because he was picked higher than
God.
The Washington wide receiver.
McLaurin.
Yeah, McLaurin. And they're both on the same team. Like, I am horrible on names. I got to get back in the grind here. But anyway, like, I don't know. It's just Paris Campbell, I think, could be a very deep sleeper. If he's on your waiver wire, go for it. Do not trade for him. Because, I mean, it's just one of those.
You wouldn't trade a fifth? You wouldn't trade a fifth for him?
Probably. Like, it's opportunity. Like, I don't know. Injuries fuck over a lot of wide receivers. It's the fact, can he come back from it? And he's got a hell of a lot. There's nobody there for this team. So that's the only reason. And Ty, I'm glad you called me out. You knew I was coming.
I knew it was coming.
Gary, please make your last pick of the evening at the 210.
All right. I'm just gonna go with Wan'Dale Robinson.
Wan'Dale.
Yeah.
I like it.
Just where he's drafting the capital. Don't know where Kadarius Toney, what's going on with all that. So I just think Wan'Dale at this point is pretty good.
I'm gonna tell you something. Dayball ain't gonna put up with Kadarius Toney if he don't start showing up for volunteer workouts or mandatory workouts. Dayball and Joe Schoen, they ain't gonna put up with that. And I think they'll use Wan'Dale Robinson like they use Isaiah McKenzie for the Bills. Mm-hmm. There's my plug. They'll use Wan'Dale Robinson. Yeah. They'll use him. They'll use Wan'Dale Robinson in a variety of ways. So I like it.
Okay, Ty, your last pick of the evening, 211.
Again, I'm stretching it. I don't know if I can say his name correctly. Tyler Algier.
Algier, you sniped me. There it is. There's my snipe of the evening.
Did I really? Shoot. It was either him or Brian Robinson. Again, I've only drafted one running back, and that was, of course, James Cook, of course. I was either going to go him or Brian Robinson, but I love some Cordell Patterson, and there's a personal story behind that because I met him and he's pretty cool. But Cordell Patterson's going to be, I think, 31. As much as they used him, he only averaged like 4 yards a carry. Now their offensive line sucked. It's always sucked, let's be honest. But then they just released Mike Davis. Who else do they have?
They got Damien Williams.
Damien Williams.
That's it.
Again, he's 30 years old as well. So the running backs are older and their offensive line sucks. So I'm not saying Tyler Algier obviously is going to start right away, but I could see him at some point getting some carries, maybe some this year or even in the future. And man, he was highly productive at BYU. Again, I know it's BYU and it's the Mountain West Conference, but shit, dude ran for 1,600 yards last year. I think there's substance to him. And he had a hell of a year the year before. So, yeah.
I like it. I think there's definitely opportunity for him to get carries this year. I'm in.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick. I actually would like to retract my Wan'Dale Robinson for
that.
Sorry, Garsh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe if we do super flex. Don't say the S word. All right, so I'm up last. The world is my oyster right now.
Huh.
Yeah. So I do have Malik Willis ranked. I don't know. I got him like mid-second-ish right now in my rankings, but I already have Kenny Pickett. So for the exercise purposes, I'm not going with him.
Ooh.
If I just go down my list, why do I want to do something flashy with my last pick? I'm gonna go. I'm not. I'm just gonna go Brian Robinson and be done with it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I know we got Antonio Gibson there. Brian Robinson is there. McKissick is there. And I think there's another
Jared Patterson.
Yeah,
Jared
Patterson. Sorry. So it's a crowded backfield. Wentz is there. I think they lost one. Scherf is gone, one of their best O linemen from the past couple of years. He went to Jacksonville. So the O line is not as good as what it was last year. But we'll go with it on the talent and Alabama guy, right?
Yeah.
Alabama.
So yeah. I think just listening to pods and reading articles, if you put Alabama in he played for quote unquote, he played for Alabama. Like I feel like that's some kind of justification in your pick. I don't know. Like, well, he went to Alabama. So I'll end it with that. Let's read off our teams real quick. I can go first. So
well, I was gonna ask real quick, have any of y'all watched much of Jalen Tobert?
Oh, I like him a lot.
So what's a prototype that he's like? So what does he flash at the most? Is he a deep threat? Is he more of like possession wide receiver?
I think he's kind of in. I only know production wise, he had 1,400 yards in 12 games. I know he's like 6'2". I don't know, man. That's a good one.
I think what we should do at some point is start to watch tape on some guys and just watch them here and then post it. That would be fun for our viewers to watch too. I think he was third round is when he was drafted.
He was drafted in the third round.
He would have been my next pick.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was.
I mean, the opportunities there too with Amari Cooper out.
Yep. He could easily be the number 4 because they lost
Cedric Wilson too. Yeah,
Cedric Wilson. So and they got Gallup, Lamb, and then James Washington, who he's been around the league for a few years. Is he number 3?
Forgot about him.
Yeah.
James Washington, like the way he's built, is almost like he could be a Debo Sambo. Fucking saying Rambo and Sambo at the same time. Like Debo Samuel, like prototype in a way. Just the way he's built, like because he's just more of a long speed type dude. But like, I mean, I think he's just got the physicality to be able to, yards after the catch.
I've always been a James Washington guy.
Yeah.
I think I said on one of the last pods, he's more of an NFL wide receiver than a fantasy.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So but he's only a 1-year deal. I mean, Gallup signed for the long haul. CD's in for the long haul. So, but could he come in and be a 3 next year? Possibly.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to see. Here we go.
So, all right, I'll read off my team real quick. Wide receiver Treylon Burks, wide receiver Jamison Williams, running back Kenneth Walker, running back Brian Robinson, and quarterback Kenny Pickett. Ty, who's your team?
My bad. Hold on. I was trying to look up Jalen Tolbert comparisons, and I was seeing like production. They were saying like Greg Jennings and Greg Jennings. I was seeing. I had Drake London, wide receiver for Atlanta. I had Jahan Doxson, wide receiver for the Commanders. I had wide receiver John Mechie for Houston Texans. I had running back James Cook for the Buffalo Bills. I had tight end Trey McBride from the Arizona Cardinals. I had quarterback Desmond Ritter for the Atlanta Falcons, and I had Tyler Allegier, running back from Atlanta.
Nice. Gars?
Yeah.
Oh, one more. I had I forgot Christian Watson from Green Bay. My bad.
Yeah. So Brees Hall, obviously the number one. In this like small little tier in the first 5, 6, 7, you can go pretty much anywhere. But Chris Olavey, I got at the 104. And then you go at the 107, Garrett Wilson, Sky Moore at 110. So then I started the second round again. It was Damien Pierce, who, I mean, you guys feel like he's right there at the edge of once you start the second round? Like that's a good spot for him? Because I know some people still have Rashad White in front of him.
I'm taking Pierce.
Yeah.
I'm taking Pierce as well.
Yeah. I thought that was a pretty decent spot to get him. David Bell at 204. Also got Isaiah Spiller at 207. And then I have, what's my guy? Thanks, Josh, for pointing it down. Wan'Dale Robinson there at 210.
Nice. I totally didn't name like half of my team. I ended up with Brian Robinson, Alec Pierce, Rashad White. Why did I not name these people? George Pickens?
I didn't do mine in order either.
I did, yeah.
I think George Pickens would be a stud. The only thing is, like, is he going to have off the field issues?
Yeah, that's been brought up too.
That's the one thing. Yeah.
What did he do? I don't even.
I don't know.
He's a hothead.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I saw one clip where he like swung at somebody during a game.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I had heard off field. I'm like, okay, I never really looked into it. I was like, all right, what do we mean off field?
Did you see when he was drafted, like him looking at the TV screen? He had one of those like stances, like it was kind of pretty like he was ready to buck or something. Like it was a little wild, man. So I think he looks fucking athletic as fuck, dude. Like strong, like physical type. So I mean, he's gonna be interesting to watch for sure.
So on CBS Sports, it kind of bothered me. Jalen Tolbert on CBS Sports was compared to Denzel Mims.
Ooh.
Okay.
Coming out of coming out of college.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that's I mean, Mims has had some success, but I mean, it's all about the team in general. Like, I think somebody like the Colts, they have it all together. They might not have top-notch wide receivers. They got a good running game. We were talking about good offensive line. They got a more accurate QB. I mean, it's pretty much all theirs. I mean, it's all about him and Matt Ryan. Can they gel well? And I think it's possible, you know.
He's with the Cowboys.
Oh, I thought you said Alec Pierce. My bad.
Oh, no, my bad. I'm sorry. Jalen Tolbert.
Oh, Tolbert. Well, I mean, I guess you can kind of retract what I just said. But, I mean, the Cowboys, I mean, they're always a decent passing game. We've seen Dak, too. So I guess I'll just radio edit what I just said earlier. But, no, I mean, it's not a bad comp.
Again,
if you got somebody like CeeDee Lamb who's going to be in the middle of the field, I mean, Desmond Mims is more of an outside wide receiver. So it'd be pretty much Jalen Tolbert is basically, you know, that kind of wide receiver.
I can see the comparison because I think Mims is 6'2" or taller, but yeah, I mean, 1,400 yards, 12 games, highly productive. I mean, I like it. Again, I think I can see him as high as the number 4, or I can see him as the number 4. I can see him as high as number 3, depending on how James Washington is. So,
Awesome. Well, guys, that was fun.
Yeah,
It was always fun to be drafting, whether it's a mock or an actual draft,
Or it's a mockery. It's a mockery of a mock.
Mockery.
All right, boys. You guys ready to get out of here?
Yeah.
For Ty at Social Media Ghost, we'll let you go plan your trips for the Bills games this year.
By the way, I'm going James Cook 101 in Lucha.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. For Gars at Gars_Poetica. I hope you do, but you know.
Of course. Cool.
And you can find me on Twitter at jhicks804. Find us all on Twitter at the Flug_FF, Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean, or where you can listen to our pod. You can also listen on YouTube, actually. So just turn the screen off and enjoy. Crack a cold beer. So that's it for this pod. We shall be back soon. Do some more breakdowns, some more rankings. Maybe we'll do a super flex mock. Who knows? But anything else, guys?
No, yeah, like Josh said, we'll try and get some more rankings up on the website. I think we'll probably at least go within the first 2 to 3 rounds. So, yeah, it's all coming into fruition. So, stay tuned.
I'll just say this, yeah, guys, check them out because Gary and Josh, they put some work into it. They do a good job. Let me tell you something. My rankings are going to be James Cook number 1, Khalil Shakur number 2.
Oh my gosh.
What's the other offensive player? Anyways, those are my top 2 picks, and everybody else sucks.
Well, I'm hoping this is what I love fantasy football because it got me out of the bias situation of the Philadelphia Eagles. I obviously love them, but I don't really draft any of those guys, except maybe AJ Brown nowadays. But to that, I just say that's why I love fantasy. It gets you out of the stressful situations of just your own team where you can concentrate. It's more of a players type thing now, you know? That's why I kind of love it. But it's great. Fantasy football. It's all right with me.
Yep. All right, that sums it up great. Let's good night, everybody. Good pod and cheers.
Cheers and bears.
Cheers.
Cheers. Go Bills.